Hey, what's up? I'm LP and I am shooting and producing a short film. If you've seen the last two videos I posted, one was a little location scout for the location that we're going to be using for the short film in the woods. And then I also did a test video, like a short little camera test, very basic camera test with a Winchester 1892 because we're shooting a Western. It's about a 5-minute long script and we needed one firing gun and we're gonna be shooting black powder blanks with that Winchester. One of our characters is gonna be using that gun. So I've been so busy getting this short film ready because it being a Western, we have to get period costumes and we have to find, good location. We have to get prop guns. We have to get, an old gun that we can actually use to shoot the blanks with. And so it's been pretty intense because I'm not just shooting it. Like I said, I'm also producing it as well. And then the director is also helping co-produce. We've been really busy getting everything ready for it that I haven't had a lot of time to do other videos for the channel. Plus I've been working on set and also traveling for a vacation. So it's been really busy the past couple months. And so that's kind of what's going on. But there's gonna be some more videos about the short film. And if you guys want me to get like into the really nitty gritty about like what we're using, how much money we're spending, and on what we're spending it on, I can absolutely get into that as well. But just, to give you a little rough idea of everything that, we have to do as producers before we even show up as cinematographer and director. So like I said, like I had to find the location. I had to, find the period guns, and we're getting other pistols with holsters from a prop house out here in California, and also getting the wardrobe from a costume house out here in LA. I have a video on that coming. I went to the actual costume house and kind of did like a little tour and kind of looked at what they have. It was incredible. They have tons of stuff. From like the 1800s and everything. This costume house mostly does like period stuff in like basically like early 1900s and like back kind of deal. So like on the less interesting side like of producing is we had to, do the SAG paperwork because I think all of our actors or most of them are in SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild. So we have to fill out a project form with SAG and get the actors to sign it. And there's different contracts and everything. And they have this new contract for like micro budget stuff, which is for projects that are budgets 20,000 and under. So we fall within that range. And so that's the contract that we're under with SAG. So, I had to do all that. And then we had to get insurance, like very basic insurance, because we have to rent, the props and the costume. And you have to have insurance for that because you can't just rent. And if you're renting any gear, costume, props, set pieces like couches, chairs, whatever it is, like you rent that stuff. And so you have to have insurance in order for you to rent it. So we had to get insurance. And then luckily, I have the camera and the lenses and everything we need for that. So that's not an added cost for us. So that's really good, because generally the camera ends up being really expensive to rent. And so we're using my Sony FX6 camera package and my Leica R primes that I have that have been cinemodded. So we're pretty excited about that. And then I was lucky and grateful that some friends of mine who have sound equipment are letting me use their sound mixer, 3 lavalier mics, and a shotgun mic, so for free. And so, I do, like I said, I have insurance. So if something does happen to that sound gear, they are covered for insurance. And, you have to send them a certificate of insurance to prove that you have it and that their stuff is covered. But we don't have to pay to rent it. So that's huge. The location is free because we're just going to be shooting at my dad's house. So we're shooting in North Carolina, but the actors don't live in the same town as the location, and neither does the director. So we have to find a place to house everyone while they're here. We're only shooting for 2 days, but still we have to find a place to put the actors in to house them for those 2 days. And so we're doing that on Airbnb. The director's taking care of that. He's going on Airbnb, and I think he found a house already. And it's a big enough house that all 3 actors can stay in it. And they all have their own separate rooms to meet with COVID stuff. And that's another thing. COVID is that SAG requires that everyone has to get tested within, I think it's like 48 or 72 hours before. I think it's 48 hours. Everyone has to get tested within 48 hours before you show up to start shooting. So, you know, the day or two, a couple days before, we're all going to go get tested. And luckily, you know, with all the government stuff, you can get tested for free. So it's not going to be an added expense for us, which is really nice because testing can be pretty expensive if you're doing like a big production and stuff. But luckily ours is very small, and we can just get everyone to go and get the free tests before they show up. You know, other small things like we have to figure out, you know, we have to go buy craft service food, snacks for everybody while we're shooting. We're going to have to figure out where we're going to get catered lunch from. You know, are we going to order from a restaurant? Are we going to find a catering company? Are we going to, you know, make the food? You know, we have to figure out how we're going to feed everyone on set. Luckily, we have a very small crew. So it's like I said, we have the 3 actors. And then as of right now, it's me as the cinematographer and then the director. And then we're going to hire a first AC who's a good friend of ours. Hopefully he's available. He's trying to work his schedule out so he can come down and shoot with us. If he can't do it, we're gonna hire someone. Either way, we're paying him. So whoever it ends up being, we're gonna pay them to pull focus for us. And then that might be it. So, I mean, it's super small project, but we have all of our money is going in front of the camera, or most of it is going in front of the camera. Our biggest expense is going to be that wardrobe. And I should be hearing from the costume house today. I'm waiting for an email. They're going to send over like a few different looks of the 3 different costumes that we need, and then we're going to like get those approved by next week, because we shoot in like 2.5 weeks from now. So I'm going to be flying out, you know, and I'm going to be bringing a lot of this stuff with me. So, you know, I might be bringing some of the wardrobe and shipping some of it. I'm going to be bringing the camera with me, the sound gear with me on the plane. I have to ship out the other prop guns because just, you know, don't want to take the prop guns in your luggage or anything, just to be safe. So I'm going to ship those out. And then what else do I have to bring? You know, and then I'm bringing, makeup. So for makeup, I bought some stuff that's called like Trail Dust and Texas Dirt by this company called Mayron. And so we're going to use that to kind of, you know, dust up and dirty up their faces. And I've watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to like do a little bit of that dirt makeup and stuff and make them look like they're sweaty. And so it's like, I'll probably be doing the makeup too, which is pretty crazy. That's just kind of how it goes in the no budget land of, you know, making your own projects. You know, you want to, you know, be strategic about where you want your money to go. And like I said, a lot of our money is going into the wardrobe just because, you know, we want to shoot a Western and we want it to look good. We want to have period clothes, like accurate period clothes as much as we can. That's where we've decided to put the bulk of our budget. And then as far as post-production goes, once we've shot the 2 days, it'll just be me and the director editing. So that's the way we do most of our shorts. So we've done a lot of shorts together. And so we end up, most of the time I'm producing them. This time, luckily, the director's helping me produce this one. And then we shoot them and then we edit them. So when it comes to this low budget stuff, you just kind of have to make it happen. You have to do a lot on your own. You have to wear multiple hats. You know, like I'm the producer, I'm the cinematographer, I'm probably the makeup artist, I'm the person getting craft services, I'm also the person figuring out what we're gonna do for food for lunch. I was the location manager, you know, so it's pretty crazy. So, you know, and then the director is going to be directing, but he's going to be doing the sound, and he's also going to help with post, and I'm going to be editing as well in post, and I'll probably do the coloring in post and the sound in post. So, you know, we do it all almost. You know, the only people that are doing other things are the actors. They're the ones acting in it. We're not acting in it. So, and then of course we're going to have a a first AC, which I think is one of the few crew positions you really like need to have. Obviously you need all crew positions, but when you're doing these small projects like this, it's very helpful to have a first AC, because if I was to be operating and pulling focus, it would just, the look of the film would just not be what it could be. You're just losing a lot of production value and quality in those images if the person holding the camera is also doing focus, especially because we're going to be doing handheld and I'm going to be moving around a little bit. We're not doing any like crazy running or anything, but just because I'm handheld, I can focus on the shot and getting the composition right and the timing down instead of having to do that and pull my focus at the same time. It just kind of frees me up to make the best looking film that I can make, and not have to worry about it being in focus or not. So it's pretty big for me and for the director, that we absolutely, if we were going to hire anybody, the first person we were going to hire and pay was a first AC. And I see that a lot when I was working as a first AC, that I would do a lot of these small projects, kind of like, maybe, not like short films like this, but other like really small, like either documentary or very small, like commercially things or whatever it was. Or even, I've done some short films and stuff as well, but they always are paying for a first AC just because it's just one of those crucial positions that you really need to have if you can afford it. And I've shot my own projects where I'm pulling focus, and it's just, sometimes you just have to do it. But if you can, get someone to pull focus for you. And so, yeah, we're really, really excited about it. We did a table read just last night. The director and the 3 actors met at one of the actors' cabin, and they all sat down and they did a table read, and I zoomed in on it, and we kind of walked through, talked about the backstories of the characters and where they're coming from and their motivations, and it was really good. It was great because obviously we've read the script, but to see them act through it at the table read, really, like, you kind of start to see where the emotions are coming from, and you start to get ideas of how you can better shoot it. Even though I've had ideas for shots, and we've had other ideas for specific shots and things, but watching them kind of roughly act through it, even just in a circle, kind of really opened your mind to new ideas. And you're talking it through with the actors of like, oh, maybe I could do something like this, or I could try something like that, and they're talking about the blocking as well, of like their physical movements and where they are and how they're doing it, and it kind of, you can think of new shot ideas and techniques of how you want the film to look. So it was a really good table read, and I'm really excited about it. It just maybe even more excited hearing the actors actually go through it. So we're all pretty pumped about this project, and the script is really good. It's really solid. Producing your own projects is very time consuming. There's so much you have to do, and it's tough, but in the end, when you're sitting in that editing room and you're looking at the footage, you're putting it together and making that story come to life, it's totally worth it. And it's worth the money too. Like we never set like a maximum budget for what we were gonna do, but I imagine we will probably end up spending around $5,000, give or take, on this movie, which is not bad. I know that if you're a small independent filmmaker or you're a student, 5,000 sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much money considering what we're getting and what we're doing. Because we're getting so much stuff for free. Like, imagine if we weren't getting the camera for free, if we weren't getting the sound for free, the location for free. That right there would be thousands of dollars alone, just doing that, or getting permits. Because we don't really have to worry about getting permits because we're on a private property out in the middle of nowhere. It's a short film. Like, I remember we did one, it's been a while now, like 5 years, where I also produced and shot it, same director, where we shot here in LA at a house. We rented a house on Airbnb in Echo Park. We had to get a permit, and we had to get like full-on production insurance. The permit itself was like $900 to shoot at this house for, I think we shot there for 2 days at this house. And so $900 just for the permit, and then we had to rent the house, and then we had to get insurance, and the insurance was like over $1,000 because we had to have, you know, full production coverage insurance. And so and I also had to rent the lights, and we paid a friend of ours to come out to be our gaffer and key grip, like be a swing, to help me light it. And then, you know, we had 2 actors, and it was a lot of money. I think we ended up spending around $8,000 to $10,000 on that movie. And so for us to come and do this one and have the costumes and only hopefully spending around $5,000 is going to be great. You know, we may do a Kickstarter once we've shot it to kind of help pay for post-production if we decide we need someone to do a proper post-sound on it, or hire a colorist. I have some experience doing color, but I'm not super confident in it to get it like really nice. You know, if we have to, I'll do it. It'll still look good, but it won't be on the level of as if we hire a colorist to do it. So I think we'll kind of cross that bridge when we come to it. We've kind of talked about doing a Kickstarter for the post-production of it and to help maybe cover some of the cost of production. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And then the plan is to just send this to a bunch of film festivals. Our previous films, 2 films, short films that we did, we sent them to like, I want to say about like 50 festivals. And they both got into a decent amount. I think the first one got into about, I don't know, I want to say like 6 or so, and then the second one about the same amount. So like they're getting in, and our second one actually won at a festival. So yeah, we're pretty excited. It got in internationally and domestically, so both of them. So pretty excited. So that's the plan, is to, you know, shoot the movie and then send it to a bunch of film festivals. And, you know, we want to get into the big ones. We wanted to get into like Sundance. We wanted to get into South by Southwest, you know, or maybe even Cannes. You know, those are the big ones we're always trying to get into. And we feel really good about this one. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to try to get some behind the scenes of us making the movie and cut a little behind the scenes video together. Maybe I'll interview the director, interview myself, the actors, you know, just kind of talk about the project and how the process of making it is going. Yeah, so keep an eye out for more videos on that. I'm hoping to get more back to the videos before about, you know, filmmaking and camera team and, you know, any other department that I can. So, and I want to do more interviews. So don't worry, there's more of that coming. So right now, the short film's kind of taking over everything. It's taking the front seat. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming up. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all the cool videos about the behind the scenes and testing other stuff and getting the wardrobe. And we're gonna dress them up in the wardrobe. So it's gonna be really cool. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all that stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Going off walkie.